Hi there. Today is Tuesday, December 21st, 2021, making this the week 50? I think it's week 50. Return to Creativity Update with your hostess, Jennifer Vanderbeek of scrapsoflife.com. Hi, how you doing? Oh boy, we are getting close to the end of the year. I can hardly believe that I've managed to keep up these videos every week for the entire year so far. Wow. Because if y'all know me, you know that sticking with stuff is kinda hard. It's not that I don't finish projects, it's just that it's hard and it's easy to get sidetracked because I have so many other things that I wanna do. Yeah, so so that's more why I'm like, "Wow, I can hardly believe it." So, anyway, let's get down to business. Not defeating any Huns today. That's just a thing. Tell me I'm not the only one who doesn't immediately go to Mulan when you hear "Let's get down to business." Anyway, I have been busy, busy bee. Um, Last week I finally finished the end on book two. That's four. Book two of the Eden Creek Cozy Mystery Series, Magic Beans. It If you pre-ordered the ebook copy, it will be automatically delivered on the 23rd. If you want the paperback copy, then it is available for order now on Amazon. So, yes, I did get that straightened out. I have not corrected. I'm still editing or typo fixing the first book, Fool's Paradise. Fortunately, I've heard from at least one person that has read a physical copy that their brain skipped over the typos, for which I am grateful, but I know they're there. I will be fixing them and making a couple of font tweaks and other things. This is just kind of the way it goes. Oh, I kind of hit Oh, speaking of, in addition to having that ready, I'm gonna flip over here so you can see, ta-da, here is the ignore the red line because it's being I know scrolling without the G is not proper English deal. I'm talking to the computer, not you. But yeah, I have the book 3 cover finished because that's part of finishing book 2 was doing the cover for book 3 so I could include it at the back. Yeah, so I got that done. And I also finished the Winter Whimsies coloring book. That is available now on Amazon. And it is not, there's a couple of slightly Christmassy pages in there, but mostly it's snowy stuff and knitting stuff and crochet stuff and quilting stuff and just like snowy scenes and snow people and stuff like that. So yeah, it's not Christmas defined. There is like a New Year's page on there as well, but in general, it's winter it's all winter all the time. And then the other thing I'll show you since we're on this screen is this is the drawing that I just finished as part of a new series I'm doing, and this is mostly for my newsletter subscribers. Sneak peek if you're a newsletter subscriber. If you're not, that can be fixed. Um, I'm gonna be sharing a monthly coloring book page that's a pun of a famous beloved sleuth, detective, inspector, etc. And the first one, and they're puns with a tree theme. Why a tree theme? Because the first one that came to mind was Murder She Oak. That's just the way it is. So that's the first one there. And I don't know, I might turn that into stickers or bookmarks or something too, just as a cute little something. But yeah, that'll be a coloring page that'll be sent out in the January newsletter. So yay for that. And I'll show. Actually, it'll be a download. The link will take you to a download page so that you could download, any of the past ones too. So even if you see this later and it's a different month and you weren't subscribed in January, it's fine because you will be able to get to the previous downloads as well. Pardon the yawn. It is rainy and nasty and icky outside, and it's also cold, which um let's see, it's about 44 degrees outside according to my phone. And that's okay though, because it's way better than last week when it was hot and sticky and humid and what the hever lovin', who knows. So I'm okay with the cold, even if it comes with the rainy wet. It's all good. It's all good. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of, finishing up the writing, finishing up the layout, finishing up the editing, finishing up the this, the that, the everything else. I did a little bit more knitting. I not bring it over here, and so we're just gonna go with it. I finished the ornament that I'd started the previous week, and I'm about halfway through another ornament. So it feels very good to be getting back into that. Also, I have a sketchbook project that I'm going to be working on or finishing up because it's due at the end of this month. That's the one that I mentioned several um uh videos ago. Would have been probably Hey, sorry folks, sorry. That would have been I don't know, sometime this summer, probably August-ish. August or September is when I heard about the sketchbook project. And yep, that's coming to a close. So I got to get mine finished up and turned in by the 31st is when it's due. So working on that. And of course, I'm going to finish editing the typos in book one, but also I got to get back to writing book three, like the whole, you know, the storyboard and everything. Well, it's not really a storyboard, that's more cartooning or illustration. The murder board, we'll call it, the cork board there is still waiting for figuring out the rest of the story. I did figure out, what I needed to do to move on, and that is basically to I need to do the deep dive into my victim and my perpetrator, because that helped a lot on book two, figuring out their backstory and their motivations, and that helped inform and round out, um, how things unfolded. And so I realized that I am at that point. I've gotten through the end of Act One. I'm, about a quarter of the way through the book. And so now it's time to take a step back, really look at the motivations of the people that are involved. And there's a lot of suspects. And so there's a lot of motivations that I have to kind of, there's a lot of people that I need to delve, to deep dive into, or at least shallow dive for some of them. You know, just so that I have a better idea of what is going to make my characters tick and how it's all going to come about, because we've kind of reached a point where it's like, all right, the oh my goodness moment has happened, and then so we're starting to try and it's like, all right, we got to try and clear this person or prove this person or whatever, and they just got handed a gimme kind of, and it's like, all right, well, now what? And so yeah, my main character is gonna have to like kind of, you know, take a step back and go, well, hold up, something isn't making sense. And here where we go. Also, I've set up, some subplots, and oh, it's just all sorts of fun stuff, that is the fun of it. And my goal is to have Rolling Down the River, that's book three, released by the end of January. Now I'm going out of town mid-January, so I need to have the majority of it done. I can do edits and stuff on the road. But yeah, so we shall see. The pre-order for book three is up now for the ebook. The print, I don't. mm, I usually the print book takes me a few days longer because of the formatting and stuff. And yeah, so I don't have that one up for pre-order, but it might be like this one where it goes up and it's basically essentially ready at the same time. That's always the goal, but we'll see how long it takes me to get everything wrapped up. Hopefully, I won't have to push it to the beginning of February. I hope. But for now, we're marching on. We're moving on. We're kicking with a January 31st is the goal for that. Um, Last week I was talking about. Oh, one other thing. I have reached a publishing milestone. Probably matters for nobody else. I don't even know if other people consider this a thing. But originally, I purchased 10 ISBN numbers. Um, Back in the day when I first produced the first edition of What to Feed Your Rating Party, because it's cheaper to buy 10. You can buy 10 for less than buying 2. So you buy them, you would normally, if you're going to use more than one, you buy them in banks. And I have now, with the release of Winter Whimsies, the coloring book, I have now used up my first 10 ISBN numbers. So there we go. That's my publishing milestone. Anyway, so the other thing, so last week I'd been talking about kind of looking forward, looking ahead, thinking about what I wanted to do next year, what things I wanted to add in, and I took a step towards that because Flaunt 2022, the pop-up festival that happens in Thomasville most years, COVID did what it did. Their call for artists was recently. It's still going on until the 31st, but I went ahead and threw my name into the hat to be hopefully selected um for one of the displays. And so cross fingers there. And yeah, so that's something that I won't know anything more about until January. Um if I was picked or not, and then of course the whole process, the exhibit opens think at the beginning of March. And the theme is Let's Play. It coincides with the release of the Thomasville's Tomopoly. It's custom city Monopoly game. And yeah, so really looking forward to it. Hope I make it into it. Looking forward to the experience in general. If I don't make it in as an artist, then I'll volunteer for it, and I'll help out and be a part of it one way or the other. There's also apparently coming up a another Thomasville artists collective. I had to think about it. I was like, what was the word again? Artist collective show coming up in spring. I think in May. I always get my M's confused whether it's May or March. Something about those two. And I do it with the numbers too, 3 and 5. I'll flip those. Yeah. I gotta really think about those. I think it's May, but I don't think it's March. I think it's May because that would then, anyway, one or the way or the other. So I need to do some more art so that I have something to put in them, to submit for those shows. So, yep, totally, just moving on forward with that. All right. So that is my week 50 update. Thank you so much for checking in. Thank you for watching. If you've been here all year, oh my goodness, thank you so much for following along. If you've just joined me, welcome. Um Still don't know exactly what this weekly series. I do like doing a weekly series, so I probably will keep up with doing some sort of weekly vlog here on YouTube. Don't know what else is going to be. Don't know what it's going to be called. I don't know if I'm going to stick with the return to creativity or if I'm going to come up with another name, or I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, so I'll come up with that. I got a few more weeks. I got a couple more weeks. Yeah. So for those of you who celebrate, happy Christmas coming up. If you don't, well, I hope you have a good weekend. And yeah, I'll see you before next year. Um, all right, that's it for me this week. Take care of yourselves. It's kind of it's a mess out there still. Take care of yourselves. Take care of the ones you love. Give them a hug. Tell them you love them, and do something good for yourself. All right, bye.